What's up, guys? It's your boy Zowoki back with some more of the Chris Watts videos, and we are going to be looking at, obviously, none other than Nichol Kessinger. This is going to be the interview at the park, enhanced audio, because obviously it's definitely hard to hear it sometimes. I threw it through a AI generator to clean it up and so forth like that. So we're definitely going to see if it worked. So bear with me. Before we go any further though, if you guys could do me a solid favor and subscribe to my YouTube channel by hitting that wiper icon down the bottom right, hit that bell icon next to it. So when I do post videos like this one, you guys will get that little ring notification that Zowoki myself has posted that video. And then you guys can watch, comment, like, and share. And again, I thank you guys so very much for that love and support that you guys show every single day. I'm truly blessed to have all you guys. And with that being said, let's get into the video. And now when I said I took this in and threw it into a AI generator for audio to clear it up, the computer hears the main people that are talking and then pretty much throws out everything else, or it tries to. So with that being said, let's get into it.
Special Agent Philip Jones. Today's date is August 15th, 2018. Interviewing Nichol Kessinger with Mark Blair. Hi, Philip Jones.
I probably need to get a sweetheart out of him, so I'm trying to.
What's his name?
Shake right a bit. Yeah.
Good bud. Duke. Duke?
Talking about her dog.
He's down.
Talking unofficial. Whatever you feel comfortable.
And there is also two other phone interviews. I thought there was only one phone interview, but there's two other ones that I'm going to look at as well.
So, I met Chris at work. He's not like one of my direct coworkers. He just like works kind of in passing in the same office building as me. I met him, I don't know, probably around the beginning of June, maybe before that. And we kind of talked in passing and then started to get to know each other. We started hanging out pretty frequently around, I want to say like the last week of June, somewhere around there. And have continued to talk until then. He informed me that he did have two kids. I knew that he had two daughters. He also told me that he was currently in the process of a separation from his wife.
That is not divorce, ma'am. You said he was divorcing now, or it's separating. Lies.
And so, are there mosquitoes? That he was in the process of a separation from his wife, and as far as I knew, that was becoming pretty finalized. And then Monday afternoon, he told me that she was like gone and he didn't know where she was. And at that point, I don't think that it set off any alarms in my head, just because, I mean, I have friends that I text, and if I don't hear from them for like 3 hours or 6 hours or even like a couple days, I don't feel concerned about where they're at, because it's kind of a standard thing for me. But then she didn't come home that night. I was like, okay, well, maybe she'll come back. And I was kind of under the impression, since they're separating, that maybe she decided to take the kids. Maybe she decided to just...
You know who else also thought that same thing? Cindy Watts. She thought, oh, she left to punish Chris. That's what they thought that she did.
Leave for a few days. I don't know. I was just, I felt like maybe she was just trying to get some space. And I figured maybe that was why she left her stuff there. Just
get some space? She was gone for 5 weeks. What more space does she need? Are you full of crap, Nichol?
Get some quiet. And then yesterday rolled around and she's still not around. And that started to seem really concerning for me, that people still don't know where she is.
Why would that be concerning for Nichol? If she was gone, missing, or whatever have you, that would not technically reflect on Nichol unless she was involved. She was worried because they thought, when I say they, I mean Nichol and Chris, thought they were actually going to get away with this murder. They thought it was going to just poof, blow over and nothing was going to happen and it was going to get cleaned under the rug. But guess what? There were people, Nate, Shanann's mom, Nicole Atkinson, that people intervened super early, and that's what caused a pretty much tear in their plan.
And they don't know where those little girls are. And at that point, I was like, you know what? I hope something did not happen to her and did not happen to her children. And that was when I decided that it's probably a good idea to just come talk to you guys and just let you know that I've been spending time with Chris. And that's as far as this got.
Spending time, you've been doing the back door time and three-way time and 5 to 6 times a day time. So don't sit there and say spending time. Tell them actually what you've been doing there, girl.
So that's it.
Well, thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you for what?
So prior to June, did you know him? Did you guys have any, did you know him, any relationship? Didn't know him at all?
No, I didn't know him at all.
Met at work in June?
Mm-hmm.
You didn't know him, but yet you knew deep information like the insurance policies, how much money he made, she made, that they have claimed bankruptcy. I mean, do I go on? You didn't know him, but yet you did know him?
And what's the company you guys both work for?
We both work for, well, I'm a contractor, so technically I don't work for the same company, but we both work for a company called Embarco Petroleum Corporation. Like, we're in the same building at the same time. So we don't actually, like, work together. It's literally like I see him in the hallway passing kind of thing. It's not even.
And then what do you do there? What's your position?
I do in-house safety stuff, so HSE.
And you
She did.
Yes, sir.
2 days later?
So you guys met. Did you start communicating, via email, text, phone messages? How did sort of the relationship develop?
So we started talking through text message and through phone calls.
Mm-hmm. Take your time.
That's how it started.
Sure. Okay. And then did the relationship develop beyond friendship?
Yes.
Okay. And then did he say anything to you about where he thought the relationship was going to be going, or what he was hoping for the future?
I think that he was looking for a relationship with me, but I knew that he was in the process of a separation. So for me, I was kind of having a hard time with that, where it's like, because he told me, oh, we're putting the house up for sale.
You Googled wedding dresses for 2 hours. You were having a hard time dealing with that?
And I told him, I'm not comfortable with considering you my significant other and vice versa while you are still, like, in the midst of a divorce. Like, I was like, once you...
Hold on. You said there's a difference between separating and divorce. You can separate and still be married. Like, you just separate for a little bit and then come back and then see if you guys are stronger. But divorce is divorce. Like, you were completely broken up. You are out the door in halves. There's 2 differences between separating and divorce. Am I wrong?
And her are finalized with the divorce. I'm like, once you and your kids have your new location that you wanted to move to set up. Once all of that is
That she was helping
where
with?
it needs to be, I'm like, then you and me can talk about, you know, eventually, like, dating seriously and like building something with each other. But I mean, that was kind of my standstill on that. And, you know, I feel guilty that I should have like waited to, I guess,
She felt guilty because they got caught.
like initiate anything that we had together until after the divorce was finalized, as opposed to doing it while they were separated.
There was no divorce started.
So, and this, I mean, it's not uncommon, and it's not. We appreciate you support fight with us and telling us about this because it is significant. You know, we're trying to go through everything that we can as far as the investigation right now to figure out what happened or what's happening. So we appreciate you telling us about this. And I know it's not an easy thing to do. So can you tell me a little bit more? So you guys started talking, and then when did it develop into more than just talking or just friendship?
It was like the beginning of July.
Yeah, July. Right. And then did you guys continue to see each other up until would it be Monday?
I saw him on Saturday. That was the last time I saw him.
Okay. Okay. And then can
Did
walk
you?
me through that on Saturday? Like, did you guys meet? What was that?
So when we spent time together, I didn't really like go to his house. Like, we would spend time at my house. He went out to dinner. That's what we did. He said he had a babysitter. He had to wait for the babysitter. And we met up. I forget what came over. Probably like 5 or 6. And we tried to go to a restaurant down the street from my house, but I didn't like the menu. So we left, and then we went to another one off of like 144. It's called the Lazy Dog. And we went up there, and we had dinner. And then he came back to my house and hung out with me for probably like 15 minutes. And then he left because he said he had to go to the babysitter. So
Yeah, she hung out.
that was Saturday. That was the last time I saw him.
Okay. And did you guys, was there anything else that you did? Was it just dinner? Did you go anyplace else? Visit any other?
No, we just went to dinner. That's one of the only times I've actually ever been out in public with him. But, yeah, just dinner.
Did you forget about the Shelby Museum? Did you forget about all of the other times that you guys went to a movie? You guys sat in the park for how many hours and looked into each other's eyes and probably barfed?
That's a lie, because they also went to the sand dunes in public and ate at a rooftop bar in public, all prior to Saturday at the Lazy Dog.
And so for the most time in the past, whenever you guys were together, it was at your house, it was going out somewhere.
Typically not. I mean, we've done a few things, but not.
I don't think the AI thing is cleaning up as much as it's supposed to. So I tried, but we'll keep listening to it.
And on Saturday, what the time frame was?
I think it was probably like 5 to 10-ish, somewhere around there. And I don't even think it was 10. We had to be back by 10. So I think it was a little bit before that. I think it was like 9:30. But somewhere in there. And I remember it might have been
Thank God Nichol Kessinger is a loudmouth.
like a little after 5 too. All I know is the babysitter was going to get there around that time. And we had to be back before 10. So give or take drive time, something like 5 hours or so.
And when he came to your house, he picked you up at your house?
I don't really like ride in his car. I've been in that white car they have once, but other than that, we take my truck everywhere, always.
When he came to your house, what vehicle was you got?
I didn't even pay attention to that, but probably his. I don't think he really takes the APC truck anywhere. He doesn't have to.
Because usually, when he comes see you, it's the white vehicle?
Yeah.
Okay. And then, when you guys went out, did you take your vehicle to go wherever you were going?
Yeah.
Okay. And so you had dinner. Was there anything else? Any other discussion about anything?
Nothing out of the ordinary.
Did you talk about anything about the relationship with his wife? That come up? Nothing. No.
I mean, I've been helping helping him trying to like find a new spot. So I'm sure we talked about like, hey, because I know we were trying to set up a time this week to go like have him. He was looking for a 2-bedroom apartment. He wanted to get an apartment that was for him and his girl. And so sometimes, I mean, we talk about that recently because he's just like, I got to find a place. We were supposed to go look at some stuff this week. We were trying to get it set up before all this happened. So, I mean, like a little bit of stuff, but it's never like directly him and his wife. It's typically like, this is what's going on. And I'm just like, well, I would give you a helping hand if you're trying to find a spot. Like, I'll look at apartments for you guys. And
Which she did.
Telling them, oh, I found an apartment that's like got a pool for your kiddos, and it's got a park for your kiddos, and it's close to work and close to the gym, and you know, and trying to make sure that he got a place that was close to where his ex-wife would be staying, so that they were all, you know, essentially located to each other, and just really trying to help him to get set up so that he could have a good working relationship with her, with the kids, and then he could be in a location that was like safe and centrally located and good for the kids themselves when he had them. And so that, I mean, just trying to like,
What a good mistress she is.
help him to like transition and then be a good dad and make sure that he's there to do what he needs to do.
Makes sense. And then after Saturday, what was the next time?
Oh, I talk to him all the time. He hasn't texted me today because I asked him yesterday not to, but if I was to text him right now, I bet he'd respond in like 5 minutes. And he has no idea that I'm talking to you guys. Nobody does. My dad is the only person that's in on this loop. Like, no one I know knows that I spent time with him. I don't think anybody he knows that I spent time with him. Like, besides the 3 people at this table, it's just him. But
Another lie. Charlotte Nelson, Kessinger's friend, knew about her and Chris.
And Jim.
nobody.
Okay. And you're confident that he didn't say anything to anybody about your relationship?
I'm pretty positive he did not.
Okay.
So,
And then, as far as texts and phone calls since Saturday, has anything been odd to you? Anything that he said or written that strikes you as being strange or not truthful? Or...
well, so I talked to him on Sunday night, and he was fine on Sunday night. I didn't have any issues with him. And then Monday, I think we shot each other like a couple texts at work, but him and I get real busy, both of us do at work. So it was just kind of like, and it was like just a mundane bullshit conversation, you know. And then Monday afternoon, I came home from work, and I had a friend over my house who is not people or knows anything about this at all. But like, I went to meet up with a friend, and then he texted me and told me something along the lines of like, my wife and my kids aren't home. And I was just like, okay. And then
that was on Monday.
It was on Monday.
Do you know what time it was?
Honestly, I'm kind of upset with him right now. Just disappointed with him. So
Do you know what time it was at? Well, I'm kind of upset with him right now. That's like something a toddler would say.
I'll talk to him right now. But probably, realistically, I'll tell you. It happened like right after I walked in the door to meet up with my friend. And let me see. So Monday, I got off of work at 3 p.m. Takes me probably like 40 minutes to get home, and I had just walked in the door. So how about 3:45? That's probably about right.
Okay.
And so he sent that then, and I was like really confused, but I wasn't concerned at that point because it was just like, you mean she's not home? Like, she at the grocery store? I mean, it was like, all right. I didn't realize like the seriousness of the situation at that point.
Of course you didn't.
But no, she didn't come home that night. And then
You were talking to him for almost an hour the night of the disappearance. You want to sit there and say that you were concerned where she was at for an hour?
I talked to him that night too, and he really didn't seem like, I mean, he was like concerned about his kids, definitely, but he didn't seem like he was at that point worried that something horrible had happened. He was just kind of like, I don't know where they're at. It's stressing me out. And I could hear it in his voice. Like, he sounded kind of scared. Like, he was just worried about them, you know?
He was scared because he didn't want to get caught. He wasn't scared because of where they were. He knew exactly where they were. He was scared of getting caught.
It's like, I don't know where she is. Like, I don't know why she did her stuff. I mean, so he was worried, but it wasn't, I mean, worried like I think somebody would sound if somebody they loved was not at home, you know? But at the same time, I think at that point, he was convinced, I was convinced that she probably just left the day. Like, I really thought, I was like, you know what? I bet she just needed a break from him and she needs some quiet. And she probably took the kids and she'll be back in like a day. That's kind of like how I had it in my head. So.
Did he say anything to you about whether anything was missing from the house, not missing, if there's signs of anything suspicious? If he just said that.
How much you want to bet she's going to say, I don't know, or I don't recall, or he never told me anything?
She left. Or he didn't know where she was.
He didn't know where she was. He didn't say she left. He's just like, I don't know where she's at.
And the kids as well.
Yeah. So, I mean, and I think he sounded genuinely concerned. I mean, those are his kids. And from the impression that I get, he's a great dad. I mean, he's all about them. He loves those little girls. And so, you know, for me, I could tell when I could, like, hear it in his voice that he sounded concerned. It was just like, those little girls, I'm sure, you know? And I think he's just worried about the whole situation. Like, I don't know where she is, or I don't know why she left. And I think that it was.
And then since on Monday, have you spoke to him on the phone, or has it just been text messages or both?
I think I did not talk to him on the phone today. It was yesterday.
I'm sorry, you did or you
did not. We texted each other yesterday, but there was no like phone conversation yesterday.
Okay. But Monday was on the phone?
Yeah, at night, like at the end of the night, I talked to him. I just remember being like really tired and I couldn't go to bed, but I was just like trying to make sure he was okay, trying to make sure his family was okay, asking him like, did he hurt anything?
You guys were trying to figure out your alibis and what the police knew and all the above, because you were in on a three-way or almost a three-way call that you were trying to listen in on what Chris was talking with the police later that night.
I think we talked twice. Like, I think we talked so much. Like, I honestly, I keep track of all of it. But it was probably pretty extended.
Did anything jump out at you in that conversation? That was different, or that was odd? Did he say anything to you about anything, you and him? Like anything had changed, or that anything was different now? Nothing at all.
No.
Okay, so just seemed concerned and just
yeah, like he was worried. You know, I mean, I was worried too. I just didn't. I thought she just left her day. That's really what I thought. And then again, like yesterday when she just like didn't come home, I was like, oh, maybe this is like something really serious. And again, I mean, like with my friends, it wouldn't be something that would draw attention if I didn't talk to them immediately. And I knew that they were going through separation. So the fact that one person is leaving for maybe a day, that doesn't seem out of the ordinary for me, just somebody to want to. The fact that all of her stuff was still there, though, that to me was kind of strange.
Okay.
And did he tell you about anything that was going on with her, as far as was she seeing anybody, or was there, had she talked about plans of what she was going to do, if she was going to move, or if she was going to go live someplace else?
As far as I knew, he kept it pretty short and sweet. He was like, if she ever came up in conversation, he was very like civil about her. Like he never had anything like negative or derogatory to say about her.
Okay.
He just told me, you know, we're separating. This is why, and that was about it. And then when
did he say why? Did he say what his reason was?
Reason was for separating. He just said that they like really didn't connect very well anymore, and I don't know. I think financially they have like different ideas of how they want to live their lives. So, I mean, but he never, just wasn't like negative about her, and it was something that was pretty removed from our what we had going on. So, and I know she was a good mom, but no,
Did he ever say that he wasn't in love with her anymore, or anything like that? No. Okay. Was he in love with you? Did he tell you? He was. Okay. Yeah, let's see. Were you in love with him?
I think it could have gotten there had things played out like.
See, she tells this interviewer, the Philip Jones, that, oh no, I was not in love. But then she tells Kobach that she did say and that she felt things for him. So she's contradicting herself.
In a decent manner, but they're not, because this is a horrible situation and I don't know where she's at, and it's really concerning me that this woman and her children cannot be located. It's not okay. It scares me, and I'm worried for all of them.
Yeah, and we are too, and obviously we're to the bottom of this. And that's some of the questions that I'm going to ask are just trying to get to the bottom of this.
Understandable.
Yeah. And so when he told you that he was in love with you, was that recent? Was that right away? Was that like in July, or?
It was probably like a couple weeks ago.
Okay. And did he talk about anything on top of it, saying, I'm in love with you now, and that I want to have a life together, and I don't want to be my wife? Like that.
We talk about the future. I think all couples do talk about the future, but it was never like, hey, I'm like leaving her.
But it was never like, hey, I'm like leaving her. I thought he was looking for an apartment to do exactly that. He told Kessinger apparently they were separating and getting a divorce. This statement shows me she knew he was still in a working marriage, not yet had the chat to Shanann. Shanann didn't know anything yet, apart from she knew he had changed and was thinking of separating. Kessinger knew this, in my opinion.
Hey, I'm like leaving her, we're going to get a house together, you're moving in with me. It was never like this, like very forward thing. And, and I even told him, I was like, if we're going to build a relationship, one thing is that if you're getting a divorce, you've been married for a long time, I think it would be wise for you to spend a lot of time on your own. I was like, and I recently got out of a relationship earlier this year, and I think it's also healthy for me to spend time on my own. And I told him, I was like, I respect like monogamy, forgiveness of situation, but at the end of the day, it's like you need space, and I would tell him that. It's like, once you guys, all your paperwork's finalized, and you guys have decided to separate.
Once you guys have decided to separate. Again showing she knew it had not happened yet. So Chris had not told Shanann, and Kessinger knew this.
And you're in your own spot with your kids. I was like, I think the days that you're with your kids, you need to be with them like full time. I'm not ready to meet your children. He didn't even ask me to meet his children. I mean, not yet, but I told him, I was like, in the future, eventually, if we get to that point where we think we're ready, yes, but I'm not ready to meet your kids. They're not ready to meet me. You're not ready to have me meet them.
She doesn't like kids.
Just tell me, I think we should take our time. Like, ideally, I would only like meet now with you like 2 years, on the days that you don't have kids. And I was like, in the rest of those days, I was like, spend time with yourself, man. I was like, you've been in a relationship for a really long time. Like, just spend time, like, doing whatever it is that you do that makes you happy, and really try to, like, take a responsible approach to getting in a relationship with someone. That is what I do. Just try to do it. Should I have waited until he was, like, officially, completely, 100% on paper divorced and moved out of the house? Yes, that's my mistake. But after that, everything going forward was really just really trying to do it in the manner that I thought would be the healthiest for him, for me, his Bex, his children, and his daughter.
And then you already said that you never met his children. Did you ever meet his wife? Were you ever at his house? Once. Okay.
Oh,
a liar.
And I was saying she lied again. She was at least there twice, the 4th and the 14th. And in my belief, she was there the day of the murders. But she lied again.
She was at his house twice that we know of.
When was that?
But it was probably the second week of July.
Second day. Okay. So it's just that one time?
Just once. I had no desire to go over there. I mean, that's like a situation where he's living with somebody that he's separated from. It's not my life. Like, that's their life, you know? And that's why I tell him, like, the time you spend with me, spend it in my house because this is our space. And that's not my space. And for me, I think it's really disrespectful to go over there. And so,
Yet Chris says that you went down to the basement to do some weird hokey pokey, weird hocus pocus kind of stuff with your friends.
we stopped by there once, like on the way to my house. And I was there for maybe
Stop
like
lying.
15 minutes. And I saw a picture of her holding her kid. She's so beautiful. And I remember thinking, like, God, your little girls are beautiful too. And we laughed. And I remember telling him after that, it was like, have you ever thought about, like, really trying to fix your marriage with her? And he's like, I don't really want to. And I was just like, man, like, you got a beautiful wife. Like, she's the mother of 2 of your kids. And I'm just like, you already have all of this stuff. Like, you already have the house and the car and the kids and the marriage and the wife. And I'm like, are you sure you don't want to fix that? I'm like, because what if you, like, try to start over with somebody else? And, like, what if, hypothetically, like, we didn't work out? Or you know what I'm saying? Or, like, just any of that, where it's like, you should at least give her the benefit of the doubt. You know, and he told me, like, I tried to talk to her about all this stuff a few times, and it's
This park interview is filled with lies.
just not working out. And I'm like, all right, you know, I mean, if you're trying to separate from her and it's pretty finalized, then I will respect that. But I mean, just being in that house made me feel like he should just try to fix it. Like, I actually, like, kind of stepped away from him for a little while and just,
You stepped away and then you were sending him naked photos and saying, I can't wait for you to be back and do things to you.
kind of like, maybe, I don't know. I felt like I wasn't sure if I wanted to, like, carry on because I really, with him, because I really wanted him to try to fix stuff. And then, you know, he just kind of says to me, like, there's no fixing it. So, all right, so we just picked up where we left off. But yes, so long time ago.
Okay. And that was in the middle of July.
Yeah, I think it was like the second weekend of July. I'm almost positive.
Was the relationship intimate by that time?
Yes, it was.
Okay. Okay. And then as far as his work truck goes, were you ever in his work truck? No.
Just know which one it is, but I've never been in it.
And then I think I asked you this, but
Because you drove separate.
I know he drove that. But were you ever in Whitefield? One time? Okay. Can you just tell me about that?
See, that's messed up. It's Shanann's vehicle, and yet Chris is carrying the mistress in that car. How messed up is that? What a boob.
I'm trying to figure out where we went. I think it was like something cool. We take my truck everywhere. It was a while ago. I don't remember.
Oh, you mean the truck that was seen by how many neighbors?
Like, I think it was something quick. Like, I think he had to, like, run an errand or something at, like, the grocery store. It was just, like his vehicle. But other than that, like, never. I was always in my truck. If I can remember, like, when that was, I'll let you know. But it, like, wasn't
She never remembers.
anything like we were going on a date. It wasn't, like, it was, like, nothing. I think it was, like, a quick trip to go somewhere. It was just like, hey, I'll drive, okay.
That was actually going to be another question. Have you guys ever gone on vacation together? Or
Nope.
whatever?
We went to the sand dunes.
Not yet.
Like, it was pretty
Man, the police knew a lot before they were asking questions.
a couple weeks ago.
Okay. How'd that go? How long a trip was that?
We went for like a day. We left Saturday. Went back on Sunday. We stayed one night out there.
In a tent.
And do you think that, or did anybody know that you guys were going on that trip together?
I think a lot of people knew, but they didn't know who it was with.
So on your side or on his?
No, nobody on my side. I mean, people knew I was going to sand dunes, but my friends don't question that. I was just, I'm going to the sand dunes for the weekend. And then, I'm pretty sure I asked him, I was like, does anybody know you're going to sand dunes? And he said yes. But I don't think he told me it was with me. I think he told me it was with some other people. So.
Yeah. So you're pretty confident that he didn't mention you?
I don't think anybody in his life knows about me. I really don't. Like at all.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'd be willing to like say like 100%. I highly doubt anybody knows about me. I just don't see it.
What about social media?
I don't have it.
You don't have any social media?
I have nothing.
So there was no interaction like Facebook Messenger?
Nope. I don't have Facebook. I have nothing. I literally have nothing. I have an email. I use it for like general purposes, but we never even emailed. I don't have social media. I haven't for a long time.
She lied there.
Recently deleted my LinkedIn, but that was like, yeah, and I'm at Facebook or since like 2016. I've never had like Twitter and Instagram stuff. So.
What about
Did they validate when she deleted her stuff? Because you can go back to see when you deleted your Facebook.
mail? Any type of letters, written communications, anything like your letters or anything saying?
I got a card from him.
Card? Anything in that is different, stands out?
I mean, it was like kind of sappy, but it was not like anything out of the ordinary for people that are dating. It was a birthday card.
And then I know he was going to the gym and stuff, right? He got into working out.
He was working out of his house. His basement.
He worked out.
The mosquitoes are bad.
I'm sorry, I got bit here too, so yeah. So we're both getting bit up a little bit. So I obviously you work out. I think. So you guys work out together?
Obviously, you work out. Are we trying to hit on Nichol? Why would you say it like that? Like, do you go to the gym? Don't ask. Well, you appear to look like you're working out.
Yeah, I went to the gym.
No. I go to my gym and he works out. He's got like a setup down there. That's all.
Did you ever see any time where was stating that was angry, threatening, anything that?
This guy must have his mic next to his hairy chest hairs or something, because he's constantly moving the microphone. Sit still, dude.
He is one of the most gentle and kind men I've ever met in my life.
And then any indications that, anything you think of that would indicate potential or something like that. Where sometimes he's very kind and gentle, but you can also have both sides, you can have a bad temper, nothing like that.
Not at all.
I wonder if this is the program I was using that's making this thing do this.
No.
Did he ever say to you anything like, I really hate this person, or I really have stuff like that?
Oh, like I said, and he's so excited to talk about his kids. I always make him so happy. It's cute. No.
I thought he was cute.
The one thing I did want to let you guys know is that I was looking at Tuesday.
The really thing that bothers me is if this is actually in the recording, why is it disrupting these questions now? If you guys can make any of this out, timestamp it and just let me know what you guys think they said.
And I found out that she is 15 weeks pregnant. I did not know that at all. And I was pretty taken back by that. I just felt kind of like disappointed with him and not with the situation. I mean, if she's pregnant, that's a beautiful thing. But that is information that definitely
Yeah, that sounded convincing.
withheld from me. So I had to find that out through the media. And I asked him about it yesterday. And he kept telling me, he's like, it's not mine, it's not mine. And
Seriously, dude?
um,
It's not mine.
he just kept telling me it wasn't his. And he's like, you mad? I was like, no, I'm not mad at all. I just am like really surprised.
He wanted Nichol to feel sorry for him, is what it was.
And I was just like, please tell me the truth. Like, don't lie to me. Please don't lie to me. Like, this whole relationship, in a sense, if you think about it, it's kind of like, it needs to be as honest as possible. So, yeah, I asked him to tell me the truth, and he kept denying it a few times, and I was just like, Chris, like, I know this child is yours, and I'm like, and well, because he kept saying, he was just like, I don't want to ruin anything we have, this and this, and I'm like, Chris, like, you need to not worry about me right now. Like, what you need to worry about is your family. I'm like, all 4 of them, and I kept.
That's why you were Googling wedding dresses and marrying your mistress 2 days before the murders happened?
Saying that, like, all 4 of them. I'm just like, I know that's your child. I'm like, and that's okay. I'm like, you need to put all of your energy right now into focusing on owning them and not anywhere else. You know, and then he finally came clean, and he was like, yeah, it's mine. And I knew. It's like, of course you knew. Like, you know, come on, how would you not know that your wife is like, what is it, 15 weeks, 4 months pregnant? I mean, seriously. So he told me, and I just, I don't know. I've never
That doesn't make sense, because first of all, how would he find out if it was his? The baby's not born yet. You can't do a paternity test on the child until the child is born. So that is a made up lie.
never felt like he's lied to me. I've always felt like he's been pretty upfront with me this entire time. And then after that happened yesterday, between him lying to me, or coming clean about lying to me, and then his wife not coming home, I was like, you know what? I wonder if there's more to this story than I know, you know? And it's really...
Oh, she said it. She said there's more to the story. I definitely think so as well.
It's hard for me to process this because I think he's a really good guy. And, you know, I'm worried about his wife and kids. Like, really worried about his wife and kids. Like, I don't know where they are. You don't know where they are. Nobody knows where they're at. And it's just freaking me out because these little girls are like, they're so little.
Oh, here we go.
She's pregnant. You know, and it's like, where's their mom?
See, she's copying what she did before. They're so little and she's pregnant. Like, she did that twice.
Where are these babies? And it makes me sad. And it's just this whole combination of like, she's still not back. And then him lying to me. And I'm just like, I just felt like I needed to talk to you guys and tell you guys, like, I'm concerned. I'll help you any way that
she wants to know what they know.
You guys need help.
Well, and that may be something that we ask you at some point. You know, that there obviously is things that you could help with. I mean, yeah, I don't know how many people who he's comfortable speaking with, but as you said at the beginning, you texted that they can answer in 5 minutes. So that may be something that we could use some help on.
You guys can keep my name out of the newspapers for a little while.
See, she did it again. Can you please keep my name out of the newspapers? She wants to protect her name.
That'd be nice.
Well,
Keep my name out of the newspapers for a little while. That would be nice. What? Why at this point of this interview where Shanann and the girls are only deemed as missing would Kessinger know her name would go in the newspapers?
well, our report gets internally. We don't turn that over to the news. So we'll have to see how this case goes in the future.
I understood.
But can you now looking back, you know, knowing that he lied to you about his wife being pregnant, is there anything else that you can think of that he lied about?
Well, we're going to leave it there, guys, because if I continue, this is going to be probably an hour and 30-minute video. And I just want to tend to the people that like long ones, but then also like short ones. That came out weird. You know what I'm talking about, the time. But we're going to end it there. Definitely, this whole interview was the biggest lying sack of doo-doo that I've ever heard in an interview. She started knowing what she was catching on, or she was catching on later interviews what she was saying, But then there was other interviews that she had on the 15th later in the day, where then she finally states that she was there more than once. She said that she told other people, like, this interview is complete, like, crap. Because then her other interview that she has later that night, because this apparently was during the day, she had another interview that night, and she completely was not on the same page as her interview in the morning, or during the late morning, early afternoon. So let me know your guys' thoughts down below. Don't forget to hit the like button, share with your friends or your family or anybody you guys know, and we will see you guys in the next video. Look out for part 2. Keep it real, keep it safe, and as always, keep nerding on, and we will see you guys in the next video. Peace.